imagine you're 20 feet in the air, suspended by the tips of your toes and the fingernail length of your fingers, with nothing but a bit of chalk to help you, to keep you from plummeting to the ground. This is the image you must comprehend in order to boulder. Bouldering is a spin-off of rock climbing. The differences are you have no ropes, you climb indoors most of the time, and if you fall to the ground. The point of bouldering was originally made in order to help rock climbers train indoors year-round and to give that little bit of an extra adrenaline feeling to it. Some of the history that came with bouldering is it started in the 1900s. Like I said, bouldering started as a way to help rock climbers train, but because of the adrenaline feel, it quickly became its own sport. The differences between bouldering and rock climbing also came because it's moved more towards gymnastics rather than hiking. The reason for this is because you don't have this rope to hold on to. You don't have this backup plan. You have to use your entire body and be extremely flexible in order to get up your mountain. Also, when the sport originally started in the 1900s, bouldering was based on who can make it to the top. As people got better, competitions changed to be based on speed, who can get up to the top quickest. One of the greatest celebrities in bouldering, and really the only celebrity, was brought about by the 60-minute special on Alex Honnold. Now, Alex Honnold is more than just a boulderer. He's a rock climber who never uses ropes. He climbs full 14ers. He climbs complete full mountains, and he's climbed hundreds of mountains. As you can see here in the picture, he's that high up, no ropes, no nothing. If he falls, he's dead, and he's done this thousands of times. During his 60-minute special, in order to calm his nerves, he went out and climbed a never-before-climbed mountain that was next to a waterfall. And normally, as a boulderer, you know that water is your worst enemy. Water makes everything slippery, more than you could possibly imagine, which is what the chalk is for. But he would go out early in the morning with a small camera crew and climb this mountain in order to prepare him for an easier mountain later in the day. I'm going to talk a little bit about the gear that's used when you are bouldering. I brought with me my shoes, my bouldering shoes. These are extremely uncomfortable, and the reason for that is because they want to be as tight on your feet as possible. When you're bouldering and you have the adrenaline going, you don't really care, but the reason I'm not wearing them is because they hurt my feet really bad. Notice how it's really hard to flex them this way, and that you only get this small arch in them is because you want to be able to wedge your foot on top of the holds, but you don't want to have any, you want to apply the most amount of your foot onto the rock, but without giving too much leeway that it just crumbles. And also this material on the bottom is extremely rigid, and it doesn't slip. And some boulders use chalk, lay chalk on the bottom of their shoes in order to get better holds. Also, you want appropriate clothing when you're climbing. You don't want to have any loose clothing that could possibly get caught on a rock, something that could pull you down. For example, these pants have a lot of pockets in order to hold stuff as I'm going up. They also have belt loops. The point for that is to hold your chalk bag, and they have a belt, and it's also just extra support for your chalk bag. The chalk bag sits on the back. Oh, I have a picture. The chalk bag sits right it hangs off the back of your pants as you're climbing up. And in order to take a break, reach behind, get chalk, bring it up, and then you apply it to your hands. It dries off your hands. It keeps moisture away, which is when you're in an adrenaline situation, your hands get very clammy very quickly. Another one of the biggest things that you need to have when you're bouldering is a crash mat. This prevents you from dying when you fall. As you can see, it's only about 20 feet high, but if you were to fall on what's underneath or anything that's not soft, you're not going to make it. So crash mats come in sizes like that where you go into an indoor area. They also have portable crash mats, which are small Velcro together mats that sit on a backpack, so you can take them out into the wilderness, find a rock that's about 20 feet high, and then if you fall on the crash mat. Some of the important terms that to know that if you decide to take up bouldering, a problem. A problem refers to the path the boulder takes up the climb. So, say your problem, and you also, in competitions, you get awarded different points for the different problems you take, depending on how hard they are. There are lots of different holds indoors, which mean there are holds that are long and skinny and have no grip, and there's also holds that have lots of grip and they are curved in, so you get more of your hand with contact with the hold. Another term that would be important to know is a dyno. A dyno sounds like a weird term, but it's one that all boulders have to use at one point or another. On a rock face, there may be places that have little to no holds on them, that just is a flat rock. And a dyno is where you rock your entire body down and then force your body up, and you leave the rock and you grab onto something above that. So it's pretty much a vertical jump. This technically says that you use less energy. I think it takes more energy up front, and you get to save energy when you get to it if you make it. This is also a gamble, because if you don't make it, you've failed. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. A final term to know is a dead point. A dead point is when you can't reach a hold statically, so you have to throw your arm, which can throw your whole body off the holds, but you want to throw your whole body into that hold. Dead points are very commonly used, and a lot of rock climbing problems will put them in just to make sure people know what they're doing. Bouldering is never safe, and injury is always a possibility, but that is the adrenaline rush and the fear that makes the sport what it is extreme.